So myself, Dr. Syam Kamal, and basically I am assistant professor in Department of Electrical Engineering, IIT BHU, and I am coordinator of this course, Physical Significance of Mathematical Method, and course code is EE-312. Okay. So what is main purpose of this course? I am going to introduce the audience to the language of system theory. Okay. I have already told you that whatever things I am going to teach, that is very, very general, okay, and applicable for large class of system. That system might be electrical, mechanical, that is belongs to electromechanical system, or belongs to computer science, mathematical biology, finance, or even if chemical industry. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about language. Okay. So first I have to highlight that what is language of the system theory. Okay. One of another important aspect, that how to define the system. Okay. So I am going to define these kind of things in this particular course. And most of time, if you see the language of system theory, so that is rely on the mathematics. But in order to simplify the mathematics, I do not want to proceed as usual way. Okay. So whenever you are writing mathematics, then you have to follow some a specific instruction, a specific way. Okay. But in order to simplify this course, I'm not going to actually rigorously follow the mathematics. Okay. Most of time I'm going to simplify the assumptions. Sometime I'm not going to define something. Okay. And at the end of the course, at least audience will familiar with modeling of dynamical system. So I will start with some kind of model. So modeling by first principle, and after that I will come to the concept modeling using some kind of energy based modeling, such like Lagrangian, Hamiltonian, and after that I will come to the data-driven modeling, because nowadays data-driven modeling become famous. Okay, and most of students are talking about machine learning or data-driven. So I will give you the highlight and what is limitation of data-driven modeling. I will also highlight using this course. Okay, and after that, obviously, I'm going to talk about the physical interpretation of stability. Okay, so first I have to define that what is meaning of stability. And if you have done some course about the control system, I know that electrical engineering student has already done one course on modern control engineering, and they, in that particular course, they know that what is meaning of stability. Okay, but here we are going to talk about generalized meaning of stability, and I'm going to show you that that stability concept is basically come from the, either you can tell that real analysis or calculus. Okay, after that what happens, that whenever you are talking about the representation of any system, lot of algebraic structures are involved. Okay, because most of time whatever rule we are going to make, that is based on symmetry. Okay, and in order to capture the symmetry, it is possible to show that automatically algebraic structures are involved. Okay, so we are going to see that what is meaning of algebraic structure. Okay, what is motivation to use this kind of algebraic structure in order to analysis and synthesis of our dynamical system. Okay, several places you are going to use the norm. Okay, and you might have seen that we are using one norm, two norm, infinity norm, several norm. Okay, so in this course, using this course, we are going to see that why different norms are evolved, what is main motivation of norm, what different result we can derive using the norm. Okay, what is basic motivation of the norm, and finally, since we are talking about dynamical system, so I am going to control that dynamical system. Okay, control means I want to force that dynamical system to behave in some specific manner, and that is called control design. And obviously, whatever theory I am going to talk in this course, that is very, very general. So that is applicable for development of new theory for class of system. Okay, because I have already told you that whenever you are going to go to some industry, then you have to actually tackle different systems. It might possible if you join some kind of finance industry, then you have to deal with financial system. Okay, if you join some kind of robotics or those robotics which is working in medical field, then you have to tackle some kind of system which is coming from mathematical biology, means mathematics plus biology. Okay, and most of time, since I do not know precisely the system, so we are not going to rely on the quantitative analysis. We are talking about qualitative behavior of the system. And obviously, whatever theory I'm going to learn, that is also applicable to game theory. Nowadays, game theory people are using to solve several problem in computer science or other area. So these kind of theory is also applicable there. And obviously, computer science and information is integral part of the electrical and electronics engineering nowadays, because they will give one of the way to interact with the system. Okay, and due to that reason, whatever theory I am going to talk, that is also applicable for computer science and information theory and machine learning. Nowadays, everything, we have lot of data and we have to interpret the data. So this theory is equally applicable for the machine learning people. Okay, before starting this course, I am going to tell you that what is difference between science, okay, experimental science and general science. You might have seen that people are talking about environmental science or these kind of thing. Every place people are adding the science. Okay, but in this course, whenever I am going to talk about science, at that time I am just going to talk about 4 subjects: physics, chemistry, biochemistry, and biophysics. Okay, and what is the main idea of this science? That these science are called hard sciences and characterized by the fact their laws and their prediction. Okay, so most of time, why we are doing experiment, we try to predict the future. Okay, so their laws and prediction are tested by the experiment performed over wide range of parameter variation. And main theme of this science to explore the nature and make some new discovery. Okay, but we are engineers. Okay, and what is our goal? Our goal to create a new device and system to serve human purposes. And how basically we are creating new device? We are taking help of this experimental science or hard science in order to design something. Okay, so our tool to use, whatever tool we are going to use, most of time we are going to use the hard science, whatever law, Newton's law, after that some law, Ohm's law, these kind of law, whatever that is given by the physics people. Sometime in chemistry, from chemistry, most of time I have actually keep here 3 questions. Solar system. Okay, so whenever we are seeing the solar system, so one of the question, when will the next solar eclipse occur? Okay, how shall I adjust all the bulbs so that good quality paper is produced? And whenever I have capacitor and resistor, what will happen if I connect them? Okay, so I have taken 3 activity, human activity, and I'm going to ask some question. Okay, and you all are already familiar that last thing, that what is going to happen with capacitor and resistor. So physically, capacitor and resistor is available, we will connect it, and after that we will analyze the behavior. Okay, so third activity is very simple, but try to see the first top 2 activities. Solar system, sometime eclipse occur after 100 years, some specific kind of eclipse, and you all are knowing that our life is short. Okay, so if I will believe on the experiment, then it is not possible to talk that when next eclipse comes into picture. Okay, if we try to adjust the machine, paper machine, in arbitrary way, it might possible that we are not going to get good quality of the paper. Okay, and due to that reason,
Sir, actually,
okay, slides are not visible.
yes.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir, you are muted. Sir, you are muted.
Okay, okay. So are you able to see slides now?
Sir, it's black. It's coming. Yes, sir.
Okay. So some internet issue is there. So have I talked about this slide? Okay, first. Okay. So could you please tell me that up to what slide are you able to see my screen? Anyone?
Probably for the previous slide.
Okay. Up to here?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, sorry for the bad internet connection. Okay. So what I am telling that most of time whenever I have system, so we have some kind of curiosity. Okay, and what kind of curiosity? I have taken just 3 examples. Okay, but it might possible we have several examples. So solar system, whenever we are seeing the solar system, we are trying to guess that or trying to predict that when next solar eclipse occur. Okay, similarly you might have seen that every of us are writing on papers, and whenever we are producing the paper, then we have to adjust lot of valves, okay, in order to make some kind of paper machine. I am talking about paper machine. So question is that how shall I adjust all the valve so that good quality paper is produced? And similarly, most of you have done the experiment using capacitor and resistor. So we are going to see that when I connect capacitor with resistor, then what kind of things happens. Okay, and I have actually here some kind of experimental result here. Okay, so for third case I can perform the experiment, because nowadays performing experiment using capacitor and resistor is very cheap. Okay, but you can see that in first 2 cases, whenever I am talking about solar system or paper machine, then it is very difficult, okay, to guess these 2 questions. Okay, and what is limitation? Limitation is that it is too expensive. Okay, why too expensive? Because I have several valve involved whenever we are producing some kind of paper, and if I do not know in which specific way I can tune the valve, then lot of bad papers comes into picture. Okay, so lot of things are waste during the testing purpose. Okay, so most of time this kind of things happens, that if you are not relying on the on some kind of model, or if you are just doing experiment, hit and trial experiment, then that become too much expensive. Okay, sometimes it is also too dangerous. Okay, suppose I have some kind of nuclear plant and I want to train nuclear plant engineers such that whenever some dangerous situation come, then that will handle that dangerous situation. Okay, and it is possible to show that if I will train using creating some kind of situation that this is the dangerous situation, then what happens, that is not feasible. Most of time that is not feasible, because if I will play with nuclear reactor, then some dangerous phenomena occur. Third thing is that system doesn't it exist. Okay, sometime what happens, I have given one example. When designing a new aeroplane, one want to test the effect of different wing shape on the aerodynamical property. Okay, nowadays you might heard about chemical computers. Okay, so still chemical computers are not existing. Okay, well defined chemical computer. Okay, and that is not common, but everybody body is talking about the chemical computer, how to do operation. Suppose you have to add 1 + 1 using chemical computer, then how to add that. Okay, so sometimes system is not existing. Okay, but still I'm talking about operation, how to do operation. Okay, and due to that reason, one cannot always rely on the experiment. Okay, so what is other possibility? Other possibility is the model of a system. Okay, so what is actually meaning of model? A tool to answer question about the system without having to do an experiment. So I want to avoid the physical experiment, real experiment. Still I want to analyze the system. That is our main goal. And for that, you can see here that we are going to talk about the mathematical model of the physical system. Okay, and whenever we are going to talk about model is nothing but a simplified description, specifically a mathematical one, of a system of or process to assist a calculation and prediction. Okay, and most of time whenever we are going to select the mathematical model, that should be very simple. Okay, so you can see in this figure I have one physical system, but I have written model 1, model 2, model 3. Okay, so Abhishek, could you please tell me that why for one system I have several mathematical model? Abhishek Gupta, are you here? Abhishek, Ankur? Okay, Antara?
No, sir, no idea.
Okay, so Antara, could you please guess that for one physical system, why we have several mathematical model?
Maybe sir, you want to try out different models, and based on the results of the model, we can finalize which is the most simplest and accurate.
No, actually, what I am telling, my question is a little bit different. I am telling that why. Okay, you are telling how. Okay, so I have one system and I have done different modeling, and I have used different concept and obtained different modeling, and after that we are testing. Okay, one student has answered that based on some kind of state space, depends on state vector we choose. Okay, that is also partially true, but try to understand like this. Okay, suppose I am going to talk about some kind of mathematical model, so I am going to write here. Are you able to? Okay, because if I will write, then again this screen is disappear. So I will tell you a story. I have physical system. Okay, any system you can take. So I have input, and if I will give input, then what I expect, I get some kind of output. Okay, so I have input variable, I have output variable. So could you please tell me that how to relate or correlate input to output? How many different way to correlate between input and output? Suppose you don't know the function, okay, and what I have gave you some kind of domain data and some kind of range data. So could you please tell me that how many way I can define the function such that I am able to correlate between input and output? How many different way? I have just input and output. I don't know the function. Okay, so I have to define function. So how many way I can define the function such that I can able to correlate input and output? One way or many way? Anyone? Anyone, could you please tell me? Kartike? Many way. Okay. So Kartike has written that many way. So that is true. And due to that reason, for one physical system, I have many mathematical model. Okay. And I will tell you in the next lecture that whenever I am talking about some kind of physical system, why I am telling function only. Okay. Why I am not telling relation. Okay. So that is a story of the next class. So due to that reason, you can see that I have physical system. So whenever we are developing some kind of system, or whenever we are going to study some kind of system, I have input and I have output. Okay, and I have to relate input and output. Okay, I do not know how basically system is behaving. Okay, but if I will able to correlate between input and output, okay, using some kind of mathematical relationship, then that is nothing but the mathematical model of the system. And due to that reason, I have several mathematical model for the same system. Okay, now if I have several mathematical model, then next difficulty comes into picture, and that is basically answered by Antra, that how to select good one. Okay, so most of time I have two different goal. Okay, so again, whenever I am talking about some kind of physical system, okay, so I am not going to define what is meaning of linear and non-linear. Okay, so it might possible I am going to talk about generalized function. So obviously generalized function is non-linear. Okay, and that is not a functional, that is function. Okay, so I will tell you that what is difference between function and functional. Okay, so most of time whenever we are defining some kind of relation means here I am talking about a specific relation where uniqueness is preserved. We are talking about functions. Okay, and functions might be linear and non-linear. Okay, that depends on the behavior of the system. And believe on me, most of system is non-linear only. Okay, so up to here, anyone has confusion, then please let me know. So what happens that I have some system. So one way, suppose that I want to study the nuclear reactor. So one way I will tell government that set up one nuclear reactor inside IIT BHU campus and I will do the experiment. Okay, and you know that that is not feasible. So what I have to do, I have to proceed towards the second way. In absence of mathematical actual model, I want to do a study, and due to that reason, I have to go via the path of mathematics. Okay, so what I have to do, I have to collect the data from some kind of real plant, or at least I have to understand that how basically plant is working. And using mathematics, what I am going to do now, I am going to develop some kind of mathematical relationship such that if I will give some input, then I will get some kind of a specific output. Okay, and most of time, if you are going to make complicated mathematical model, infinite model is possible, but I have to select the simple one. Because why simple one? If simple one, then easily I can analyze and perform some kind of numerical experiment. That is the main motivation. So if you don't have any confusion up to now, then I will proceed towards the next slide. Okay, and here in the next slide, you can see that I'm going to talk about the next question. Okay, next question, whatever posed by one student, that model is linear or non-linear. Okay, so in order to define linear and non-linear, some system is linear and non-linear. Till now I haven't defined the system. Okay, and I am going to talk about the linearity. Okay, so if you all are already well aware that what is meaning of linearity, okay, those who are not knowing what is meaning of linearity, I'm going to tell you that whenever some system is linear, then what you have to do, you have to take system and you have to apply one input and you have to record the output corresponding to that input. Again, what you have to do, you have to perform the another set of input to that system and you have to record the output. And if addition of two signal will produce the addition of the output we have already recorded, then we are going to tell that that will satisfy the additivity property. And homogeneity, if you scale out by some alpha may be real or complex. Okay, so there is no restriction on the alpha. Okay, and based on that restriction, I'm going to tell you that after scaling, if I will get our output is scaled by the same amount, then I am going to tell that that system is linear. Okay, but here what I am going to tell you, most of time I am going to teach this course by some kind of counter examples. So most of time what happens that people are thinking that if something is additive, then that is also homogeneous. Why? Suppose if I have x1, x2, x3 or x4, so I am telling that multiplication is nothing but repeated addition. In that way, one can interpret. Okay, and in that particular way, it is possible to show that additivity, whenever additivity is feasible, that also implies the homogeneity, but that is not the case. Okay, so I have actually generated some kind of counter example for that. What I have done, I am telling that, okay, I have some kind of system, and what is characteristic of that system? If you apply some kind of input xt, that is complex input, then whatever output you are going to get, that is complex conjugate of xt. Okay, so obviously additivity property is satisfied, that is obvious. Okay, so suppose if you apply 5 plus 4j, so you are going to get the conjugate of that 4 minus 5j, something like that. Okay, so now what happens that additivity property is satisfied. Now let us try to check about the homogeneity. Okay, and you are able to see now that homogeneity is not satisfied. Okay, and due to that reason, whenever we are defining linear system, then we have two different things is required, additivity and homogeneity. Okay, it might possible some system will satisfy additivity, but that will not satisfy the homogeneity, or vice versa. Okay, so due to that reason, I am telling that whenever you are learning something, you have to learn it precisely. Okay, if we are telling that two properties should satisfy, so both properties should be independent with each other. It means that in generally, or at least in one case, one property will not imply other. Okay, so both are independent. So whenever we are making definition, you can see that whenever I have make definition of linearity, at that time I have talked about two property, additivity and homogeneity, but both are independent with respect to each other. In some case, it might possible that additivity implies homogeneity, homogeneity implies additivity, but that is very, very specific case we can tell, but generally that is not. Okay, here you can see that if I replace alpha by real number, then additivity also implies the homogeneity. Okay, so now let us come to the second thing, that what I am going to tell, that does there exist a system with real valued input? Okay, so most of time if you see our sensors or actuators, that is only able to apply the real valued signal. Okay, our sensor is only able to read the real valued signal. So most of time whenever we are dealing with the system, we are just talking about input and output that is real valued. Okay, and what I am telling, that does there exist a system with real valued input and output that has additivity property but not the homogeneity property? So most of time answer of this question is no, because most of time additivity implies homogeneity. But I will give you some example of the real valued function where additivity not implies homogeneity. And now third example, does there exist a system with real valued input and output that has homogeneity property but not additivity property? You can see here that I have generated one system yt equal to x squared t by xt minus 1. Okay, so this is delay. So if you scale x by alpha, so alpha square and alpha alpha, that is going to cancel out. So this particular system is homogeneous, but additivity property doesn't hold. Please check it. Okay, anyone has confusion till now? So what I am telling, that whenever you are defining something, and suppose two properties are required to define something, so both are mutually exclusive. Okay, so that kind of things I am going to highlight using this particular example. Okay, and most of time it is possible to show that physical system is not linear. Why I have taken this example? Because you are knowing, you are already well aware what is meaning of the linearity. So I am going to create some kind of counter example in order to tell you that whatever you are thinking, most of time that may or may not be correct. Okay, now let us try to see second example. And in order to understand second example, the main motive to show second example, here you can see that in this example, here I am going to prove that additivity implies homogeneity. And why proof is required, now I am going to highlight. Okay, if you do not try to understand the proof, then what happens, that sometime you are going to do blunder. Okay, so same kind of things I am going to highlight here. So here what happens, that I have taken real valued system, where suppose I have some system, and if I apply x, then I'm going to get some kind of ax. Okay, and I'm assuming that satisfy the additivity property. And in order to prove additivity implies homogeneity, I am going to use the proof by mathematical induction. I hope that you all are familiar with proof by mathematical induction. Okay, so in this course I am also going to highlight you that how to prove something. Okay, so there are 5 different way to prove something. Okay, so these all steps are very simple, that whenever we are using mathematical induction, then how basically we are proceeding, we are showing that something is true xi when zero value and repeatedly that is true, so that kind of things. So what is main motivation here? You can see that main motive to highlight this proof is here. Okay, here what I have to show, that for any real number additivity implies homogeneity. Okay, and that is rely on the fact that mapping is continuous. Okay, it means that rational number are dense subset of real number. Okay, so what I am telling, that if you are taking any two rational number, then there always exists some kind of real number. I am telling that. Okay, so if you test something just on rational number, and if this property will satisfy, then I can tell that additivity implies homogeneity. Okay, so you can see that continuous mapping is required. Okay, so I have just tested on the rational number, and we know that rational number are dense subset of real number. Okay, if I will take the continuous real line, okay, due to that reason, I am telling that by just testing on 1 by n and m by n, I can prove that additivity implies homogeneity. Okay, but if mapping is discontinuous, it is possible to show that additivity doesn't imply the homogeneity. Okay, and if you check the literature, then that is called Hamel basis. Okay, and what basically Hamel basis is telling that alpha, if you take rational number, okay, and there exists some kind of coordinate system on rational number, okay, and in that particular relationship, mapping f, whatever function f, if that is discontinuous, then it is possible to show that additivity doesn't imply homogeneity. Okay, so in this course, I am not going to talk about ML basis. Just what you can do, just in order to understand that why you have to dig inside the matter. Okay, so in order to understand precisely, you have to know the proof. Okay, so whenever we are proving the additivity implies homogeneity, so continuity is very, very important. So if you lose the continuity, it is possible to show that additivity doesn't imply the homogeneity. Okay, and due to that reason, you have to know that why things work. Okay, now let us come to the another example. So main theme of this example to highlight that additivity and homogeneity both are not the same, or one cannot imply other in more general case. Okay, let us try to see this mathematical manipulation. So whenever we are talking about binary logic, okay, or our computer system, you might are well aware that that is based on this particular logic. Okay, so 0 0 we are assuming 0, 0 1 we are assuming 1, 1 plus 0 we are assuming 1, plus now here I have some kind of confusion. Okay, so I have two possibility. I can select 1 plus 1 equal to 0 or 1 plus 1 equal to 1. Okay, so Ankur, could you please tell me that which one is correct? 1 plus 1 equal to 0 or 1? Ankur.
0.
Okay, why?
सर बाइनरी नंबर में 1 1 प्लस 1 2 हो जाएगा ना, तो जब रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे.
I have possibility now. Why I will not take 1 plus 1 equal to 1? Anyone? So again, I have to understand that why people has selected 1 plus 1 equal to 0, not 1. Okay, so in order to do that, I have to understand the some kind of algebraic structure, and using group theory, it is possible to show that why 1 plus 1 we have taken that equal to 0. Okay, that is assigned by us. Okay, due to that reason, again, algebraic structure we have to understand very, very carefully. Okay, otherwise we can do some kind of mistake whenever we are defining some kind of new rule, new logic. Okay, so this is one of the observation, and I will tell you similar observations in this particular course. Second thing you can see here, that here could you please guess that what is this particular series? I have written Fourier series. Okay, so now question is that why Fourier series is written like this, cos kx, sin kx, why not some kind of exponential function or something like that, or some other oscillatory function? Why? Anyone? Abhishek Gupta?
No idea, sir.
So in this course, most of time we are using Fourier series. Similar question with the Laplace transformation. You can see that I am multiplying some function using e power st. And we don't know why I am multiplying. Why this kind of complicated operation we are doing. We know why I am multiplying, that because I have to convert some kind of differential equation into algebraic equation. That is our motivation. But we don't know why form of that Laplace transform is e power st fx or something 0 to infinity, some kind of improper integral. Okay, we don't know. So using this course or using the notion of algebra, we try to understand that why Fourier has thought that series can be written like this, fx can be, periodic function can be written like this. Okay, so that kind of things also we are going to highlight using this particular course. Okay, now another question, and after that obviously I will stop this particular lecture. You try to see here that I have keep one question, why calculus works. Okay, so if you see the notion of differentiation or integration, always you are able to see the limit. Okay, so could you please suppose that if some 8th class student come in front of you and they are trying to understand what is meaning of limit. Okay, so how to motivate him? So I have written answer using this slide. You can see here, I know the algebra. Okay, and algebra is basically ultimate reality, because most of time we are playing with numbers. Okay, but suddenly in calculus what happens? Number disappear. Okay, so now I have to deal with some kind of complicated situation. Okay, but whatever machine I have developed, they are only able to understand the numbers. Okay, so I need some kind of way such that I can map some kind of complicated operation to the number. Okay, and how to do that? So limit is telling that limit is nothing but some kind of macroscope. Okay, and what that macroscope is telling, suppose you have to know the slope at some point. So what you have to do, you have to zoom it, and if you do infinite zoom, okay, then what happens, that complicated problem is again transferred to the simple problem. Again I have some kind of height and length, and you are able to define the slope using algebra. Okay, similarly I do not know how to calculate area under some curve. If curve is like rectangle or triangle, I can do easily, but here that is not possible. So how to do? Again I will apply the macroscope and zoom it. Once you do zoom it, you can see that again our problem is converted into addition of area between rectangle or triangle. Okay, so I am telling that limit is nothing but a mathematical macroscope, and using that I can able to convert calculus problem into algebraic problem. Okay, so now if you know the algebra, then you are able to solve the problem of calculus, and that is the main motivation of the Newton to introduce the idea of the limit. Anyone has confusion? And due to that reason, if you see any definition of differentiation and integration, limit is there. So they are just telling about this fact. Okay, so whatever operation from school to till now, whatever you have read, using this course I am going to clarify that what is actually means physical interpretation of that particular notion. Okay, so due to lack of time I am not able to complete the whole slide. Okay, so in next class I will highlight some more problem. Okay, that why this course is important for all of you. Okay, so till now if you have any confusion, then please let me know. Anyone?
Sir.
Please go ahead.
Sir, what is the exact difference between a mathematical model and a computational model?
Actually, if you see the mathematical model, okay, so mathematical model is basically based on some kind of experimental law. Okay, and whenever we are talking about computational model, okay, that is most of time computational model is based on some kind of data. Okay, so what happens now, here you try to understand the difference. Okay, actually what happens, that I know that whenever I am going to develop some kind of machine, okay, so that is make of this component, subcomponent. I know the behavior of each and every component. Okay, sometimes suppose you can take the example of brain. We don't know how things are connected. Okay, and if I apply input, then what kind of output? I don't know the physical law. I do not know the each and every individual component. So we are just knowing approximate component. Okay, so whenever I do not know the physical physical model of each and every component, at that time we are using the term computational model. Okay, it means that physical law is not known to me, but I am hoping that system will behave like this. Okay,